examine each piece to determine its weight and current market value. Then we will make you an offer. If you accept, we'll pay you on the spot. And there's never any pressure to sell. Walk away anytime. No charge, no hassle. And if by chance something catches your eye in our showroom, take advantage of our 20% bonus offer towards a new purchase. Imagine, in one visit you can trade in old style for new ones and take home cash to boot.
London Gold, it's the best.
Now you're in retirement. Congratulations. For over 30 years, my friends at Senior Consultants have been making sure that the money you worked so hard for now works hard for you. Give them a call. 480-726-7391. That's 480-726-7391. Or check out Putting Your Financial House in Order Saturday mornings at 7 right here on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX.
Hi, and good evening to Two Small Biz Guys with Zen Benefiel and
Ray Silverstein.
And we're here in the KFNX studio with Phoenix phenom, Gelie Akhenblit.
Hi.
How are you this evening?
I'm great.
Well, great. We're going to get back to you in just a minute.
Okay.
And right now we're going to announce an upcoming event with a fellow networker that you're probably familiar with, Gelie, and that's Dave Sherman. And
Of course.
we're doing a workshop with him called Engaging the Art of Schmooze.
No, that's schmooze. Very easy.
There we go. And you can go to our website, that's twosmallbizguys.com, and sign up for the workshop there.
Right. It's what date is that workshop?
It's on November 11th, and it's a bring your own lunch. We'll be able to entertain you with Dave's schmoozing.
And other schmoozing also.
Right. He's going to show us how to really network face-to-face. But speaking of face-to-face, Gelie, glad to have you here.
I'm super excited.
All right. You know, you really are a Phoenix phenom.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, you're the diva of networkingphoenix.com, and that's all about business networking. So you've got a really good story about how you came to this, too, you know, from being a refusenik
Yeah.
to being a desertnik.
No, being introduced, Nick.
Oh, that's my job. All right, so...
As long as I'm not a nude Nick.
No.
We're good.
Well, we don't have any beaches here. Well, actually, we do.
You would have far more networking success that way.
Would I?
Anyway, yeah, brains and beauty. So, in order to come to America, you went really through some really traumatic experiences, and I don't know that a lot of folks here in Phoenix know about that.
Yeah, probably not. It's not really something that I talk about often. I mean, mainly just because that's not my platform, right? I mean, we speak on networking.
Right.
And when people ask me my story, they typically refer to how did you get into networking?
Right. Well, this is, I think, it as a form of networking that was really kind of a godsend for you.
Yeah, no, I believe so. I mean, I think the experiences that happened to me at an early age, just being a refugee and being from a different country, being raised by parents from a different culture, they didn't speak the language. It just forces you to get really resourceful at a very young age. Just dealing with a lot of adult situations at a young age that my American peers didn't have to deal with.
Right.
And, not to sound like a sob story, but it just it makes you who you are.
It really does.
Yeah.
And, we grow through the challenges that we have in life and being able to meet and exceed the requirements of them oftentimes, which you have, obviously.
I hope so.
So when you came from this refusenik and your parents only speaking not English, how did you really come about speaking English so well?
Well, I was 8 years old when we came here, so the younger you are, the easier it is to learn the language. And being that we were the very first Russian Jewish immigrants here in Phoenix, then there weren't any other Russian children here for me to play with. So I was very much immersed in the I was very much immersed in the English culture.
So you had the opportunity, I shouldn't say opportunity, but you had the difficulty of not only speaking the language, coming from a different culture, so you had to be able to adapt in all these different environments. So did that lead into your networking success or personality?
I think so. I think so. I think that, like I said, because of a lot of the situations that I was placed into, I think it just really forced me to have extra, layers, extra dimensions, extra whatever you may call it, that just gave me an extra edge, maybe.
Oh, absolutely. And an edge is kind of what you need with networking. You do a lot of face-to-face stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think with what you've gone through, it teaches you that it's okay. You can ask questions. You can be probing. You can ask for what you want. You can think about how you're going to respond and engage someone prior to doing so, and then get the results that you want, or at least closer.
Right. Well, I think a lot of really what it gave me, like kind of that edge that I just mentioned, I think a lot of what happened is that because I went through just all these different experiences at such a young age, that it actually allowed me to relay to people of different ages and backgrounds I almost want to say kind of like in an easy fashion, right? So it was easy for me to connect with somebody that was older. It was easier for me to connect with somebody that was maybe foreign. So there are just a lot of different opportunities that I was able to connect with, because of just having those extra experiences.
Sure.
So you really had a lemonade stand. You made lemons into lemonade.
Yeah, you could say that.
Absolutely. Now, with the Networking Phoenix, this has grown into a huge organization, and I've watched it. I've been a part of it from the beginning and watched your growth and how you've expanded. What kind of things did you have to go through? What types of challenges did you have to address early on?
With launching the company?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that we have enough time to discuss all the challenges and all the whatnot, but let me tell you.
What were your greatest ones?
I don't know. I think the greatest one, it's hard to say what the greatest one was. There were many. Launching a company, a startup especially, is never easy, and especially when it's, it wasn't a proven concept. It was somebody that I had to prove to people. So that was very challenging, proving myself. But I wasn't so worried about proving myself because I know who I was, and I knew that I was going to make this whatever I wanted it to be. That wasn't a problem. But I remember, and I still struggle with this. It's just when you become even a little bit visible, people start to gravitate towards you and ask you for things, and it's just never ending. And now I know how to deal with it.
And you're not a people pleaser, are you?
Well, I'm not a people pleaser.
Well, and that's the challenge when people come to you. You reach a certain stature in the community, and people think you're this magician that can do anything,
right.
And so they come to you, and sometimes feel like they're just trying to hook you for everything that they can get.
Exactly. And that's unfortunately so I started feeling that right away, and I didn't know what to do with it. Right. So
let me take you back when you first started. What gave you the inspiration to really start this type of business?
Well, I didn't like my job, so I was out networking to find other opportunities, not so much other jobs, but just other opportunities. And I discovered that I was freakishly in love with networking. So that's kind of the very short story of how I ended up doing this.
So you found this passion of networking, and then you said, okay, what can I do with this? And started the Networking Phoenix?
Yeah, in a nutshell. I mean, that's pretty much what happened. I went to I started networking, and I remember I went to my very first networking event ever, and I found that I was just completely almost like falling in love. That feeling of falling in love when endorphins are pumping and nothing can go wrong in life, and all of a sudden everything is just okay. Well, better than okay, even.
Right.
And so I just had that feeling every time I walked into a room full of strangers.
Sure, I totally get it. I call it Zendorphins.
Right. Yes.
Because I have a particular bent on that.
I call them Radorphins, but okay.
Yeah, you would. So what happens though is like you're talking about. There's an energy. There's this transformation that you go through when you walk into a room, and the energy's there, and opportunity exists at every angle, and it's just being able to zero in on it with a little more thoughtfulness and even mindfulness in some cases as to how we're moving with the types of networking that's happening today. Right? People are getting beyond the what can I get from you to how can I help you.
Some people.
Well, aren't you really in the business of helping others by creating the networking activities and network and I'll say networking shows that you create?
All right. That's a great question to go to break for, and we'll be right back with you with Two Small Biz Guys right here in the Independent Talk Radio KFNX studio. What is your dream? Do you want to achieve it? Do you know how? What if you did? Zen Benefiel is the Chief Possibilities Coagulator with Be the Dream, Transformational Life Coaching and Professional Services. He'll help you put your dream to paper and process, removing the liabilities, limitations, and excuses in your challenge to change. Changing your outlook and perspectives opens your experience to opportunity and success. Visit BeTheDream.com and make an appointment with Zen. You'll be amazed with the results.
As a business owner, do you ever feel alone? Hi, I'm Ray Silverstein, founder of Pro Presidents Organization. I know business owners want to call their own shots, make appropriate income, and control their destiny. At Pro, our passion is to help you achieve your goals. A Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting is just the thing. It takes away that feeling of being alone by giving you support, insight, and experience. It's a confidential monthly meeting of non-competitive business owners facilitated by me. I have walked in your shoes. I have owned and sold several businesses. I will be your mentor and tormentor to move you forward. When you have issues or opportunities that keep you awake at night, where do you get your help? Pro Boards give support and non-biased feedback from your peers. To sample a free Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting, email ray@propres.com. That's ray@propres.com. ray@propres.com. There's no charge and no commitment to attend.
Offering insight, practical advice, and the opportunity for coaching and consulting from their years of real-world experience and understanding. Two Small Biz Guys hit the airwaves with wit and wisdom, exploring small business with a couple of characters in the community, or caricatures as the case may be. Ray and Zen, that is, Mondays at 8 p.m. These guys are passionate about helping entrepreneurs and small business owners explore opportunities, meet challenges, and transform concepts to reality. Two Small Biz Guys, Mondays at 8 p.m. Are you a small business owner looking for education and information and don't have time for school? Is there an area of your business you'd like to know more about but aren't sure where to go or who to ask? Practical Biz U is an online repository of small business courses now available to you on the web. There are single class options, bundles for specific areas, and monthly memberships for ongoing learning opportunities. Go to practicalbizu.com and sign up today. The digital world is vast. Is it working for you? Would you like some qualified help? Zen Benefiel is a wonder with social media who leads focused and organized workshops on multiple platforms like Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. He leads by example, not theory, and teaches you how to live large and lively on the web. From blogs to SEO, his web presence speaks for itself. Take advantage of his expertise. Visit BeTheDream.com and click on Web Wizardry. Hire him while you can. As a real estate agent, you work hard. Wouldn't you like to keep more of your commissions? Call Client Advocate Realty at 602-403-7717 and let's talk about how you can keep your commissions. That's 602-403-7717 to keep your commissions. And talk to Ron Chambers at 602-403-7717. And welcome back to Two Small Biz Guys. We're here in the studio with Gelie Akhenblit, networkingphoenix.com. Good to have you here once again.
Thanks for being here. For having me.
Hey, I'm glad to be here too. So thank you. Thank you.
I think we're all glad to be here.
Absolutely. And it's a beautiful day out that we're in here, and we're going to be giving you some really cool information about Networking Phoenix and networking in general.
Yeah.
All right. So, Gelie, how, we're talking about how you got started, and Ray had asked you a question right before the break. Do you remember what that question was, Ray?
I think I can work that out.
Okay.
Basically, we're talking about the Networking Phoenix activities and how you bring value to the valley. That's a good statement, value to the valley.
Yeah.
So what is really Networking Phoenix all about, and how do people benefit, and what service do you bring to them?
Great question. So basically, Networking Phoenix is an online platform that caters to local professionals that are looking to find networking events, networking seminars, and that are looking to connect with other professionals. And so we have almost 33,000 members. And what happened is when you go to the website, you see a calendar on there that lists all the different networking events.
And it's huge. There's tons of events on there.
There are a lot of events on there. That's correct. Yeah. So
tons is relative, I suppose.
Well, no, there's about 500. About 500 events a month, networking events a month, and they're covering Metro Phoenix areas. So I'd tell people between Goodyear and Gilbert, everything in between, and that's the main draw of the website. But there's so much more to it, right? So then once a month we have our own networking mixers that people can come to. They're for our networking passport members. So it's free to create a profile on the website, so you have access to information where all the events are happening. But we have an optional paid program called the Passport. It's $20 a month, and then you can attend our mixer for free, as well as about 30 to 40 other organizations' paid networking events for free. So 30 to 40 a month.
That sounds like a super deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is, So especially if you're networking, it's a good deal. It's like a gym membership, though, right? If you pay for it but don't actually go to the gym, then it's not going to do you any good. But if you're actually networking, it's going to save you a lot of money, because typically even if you go to one event, it'll pay for itself already.
So if somebody has a paid event on your site and they participate, basically you're saying you give them a passport so they can attend those events no charge. So in order for people to list those paid events, they have to be willing to accept your passport members to attend.
Right, and not all of them, but not every single paid event listed on our site is part of the passport. It's not a requirement for them to be a part of the passport to get listed on the site, but that is an option. And so, like I said, there's about 30 to 40 events per month that are part of the program.
Plus, you've got several events during the year that are just huge.
Yes, our signature events.
Yeah.
So this past August, we had our 18th signature event, and we've got 2 more scheduled for 2016, one in April and one in August. I just announced it publicly for the first time, I guess. So, but we've got 2 events planned. We get about 1,300 to 1,500 people attending. These are all local professionals.
And they're really nice events. I mean, you've had them out at the Princess Resort as one of your locations.
Yeah. So we've had them at a few different locations. The events next year are happening at, currently it's called Chaparral Suites, but I believe they're being renovated and owned by an Embassy Suites now. But it's where Chaparral Suites is, which is what most people will know their resort as. And it's in the conference centers. So it's a great space, and we have vendors there. It's free to attend, but it's not like a vendor fair. It's a networking event, and there's just, vendors on the
I've been to
perimeter.
several, and they really are wonderful events. They're engaging. You've got the opportunity to talk to many different people of just about any business arena that you would look for. You can find them there. Now, the important thing that I think many people forget, at least from my perspective, is the follow-up afterwards. What do you do once you have that business card? You've had that initial conversation and gotten to know them just a little bit. How do you follow up? What do you find are the best things to do, or the most successful things?
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't think people forget to follow up. I think they choose not to follow up, and there's a big difference. I think maybe they forget on purpose to follow up because they don't want to. But,
Is that because people are uncomfortable in talking with people beyond that? I mean, it's really easy to walk up to somebody and start a conversation and not really feel the threat of needing to close a deal in that moment. The follow-through sales is, it's kind of tough for a lot of people, but that's not what we're used to.
Well, my observation in working with a lot of people is that a lot of people just don't follow up. Not that they choose not to follow up. They just don't think about it. They don't have the wherewithal. By wherewithal, I'm talking about the mental discipline to follow up.
I can see how that can happen.
And
but people are busy.
People are busy, and I think we're afraid of rejection. Nobody wants to be rejected. And even if they follow up once and they don't get a response, they stop. But I believe the statistics are, and I don't have them in front of me, but something like you don't get the sale or the deal until your 12th follow-up.
Yeah, between 7 and 12, I think, is what I've heard. Right,
like that.
right.
Yeah,
that's statistically true.
So if you follow up once and that's it, I mean, unless you have some amazing magical connection, which does happen.
Rapport building. That's the secret.
What?
The rapport building.
Oh, yeah.
The relationship. When you can really talk to someone, hear what they're saying, reflect to them, and really be there in that space with them, which far too often we're either thinking about the past or the future. Where we've been, where we're going to go.
Right.
Instead of, okay, what's here right now, and let's just be comfortable in this space without having an agenda and see where it goes.
So taking that comment, from your experience as being the networking queen and diva and all those good things, how would you go about working a networking event?
How do I go about doing it? Well, gosh,
She's in charge. She doesn't need to.
Well, no, I mean, depending on.
Well, when you think back to the days when you first started doing the networking, how do you go about it to make the impression, to create the relationship, to create the trust, to get to the point of follow-up?
So there's a whole strategy involved in that, right? So the question you just asked me, I teach a 2-hour seminar on it. So there's, I can give you like some tips maybe, right? So my typical tips are, like with working a room, first off, get there early. Like if you're actually working a room, you're going to be working the space, you need to know what space you're working with. So get there early. Find out who the organizers are, say hello, introduce yourself, let them know maybe who you're trying to meet or what your industry is, and see if they can introduce you to people. At my own events, I've had people come up to me with a piece of paper with people's names on them and said, I'm looking for these people. Are they in the room? And if they are, can you show me who they are? And I said, absolutely. And I took her by the hand and introduced her to each and every single person. And so this lady, I mean, a few people have done them, but this lady in particular, she took the time to research the attendee list, which is available to everybody with our events, because you could look at the RSVP list and see who's going.
Right.
And she took the time to research them, and she said, okay, these are the people I want to meet tonight. And when she got there, she came up to me and said, introduce me. And I didn't know her. It's like she's a friend of mine, but
plan your work your plan, and
Yeah.
you'll have better success.
Right. So that's one of my tips. Is that's the way to work the room, is prepare yourself.
So on the attendance list that you prepare beforehand, does it have more than just the name? Have company, title, and all this good information that leads them to really, survey that list and come up with the contacts they really want to talk to?
Yeah. Well, so it's attached to our site, and on our site, if you have a profile, you give us whatever information you want to give us. So if your profile is blank, then I won't have necessarily all the details you're asking. But if somebody else's profile is completely filled out, then if I'm doing my research, I'll be able to, look at the profiles that are completely filled out and see what that person's about, go to their website, all of that.
So you're telling me those people whose profiles are blank, I would really say that they're a blank because they really haven't done their job to promote themselves.
Yeah, I agree. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, you already gave me your email address. I already have your email address. Now you're just injuring yourself if you're not filling out a profile, because the website is one of the most popular websites locally. So if somebody's searching for you or your business and they type it in, chances are your profile on our site is going to come up before your own website.
And making sure that you have a well-developed profile, you've got to have that. And if you don't know how to do it, then you need to seek someone out that does, that can assist you with that, so that you've got a good online presence. Speaking of online presence, we're going to break our presence here for just a few moments with some messages from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with you with Two Small Biz Guys.
Laura Ingram mornings, Herman Cain middays, Michael Savage afternoons, Jim Sharp nights on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
The flight data and cockpit voice recorders from the Russian plane that blew apart in the skies over Egypt are in good shape as experts try to determine the cause of the crash. Correspondent Richard Quest reports the investigation is looking at
some form of in-flight breakup, and whether that comes from an onboard explosive, a bomb for a better word, or a breakup because of a previous bad repair.
The mayor of a small town in Oklahoma is under fire for her husband's Halloween costume. He and a few friends dressed as members of the KKK. Oklahoma Mayor Teresa Sharp says it was a dumb prank, but not racism.
It was the stupidity and actions of 4 separate individuals, and it does not reflect on me or anybody else within the community.
A big day for Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rallied, gaining 165 points. The Nasdaq closed up 73, while the S&P 500 was up 25 points. I'm Ann Cates.
From the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center for tonight, clear skies, the overnight low 57. Saturday, sunny and 80. We'll have clear skies again tomorrow night, the overnight low 58. Then for your Sunday, sunny skies and a high of 82. A low sunny night of 59. Sunny and 84 on Monday. I'm Chuck Taylor from the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center.
Currently, in downtown Phoenix, it's 77 degrees.
Next news in 30 minutes or when it breaks. Here on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Has your job been sent overseas? Are you underpaid and cannot support your family? Arizona at Work stands up for working class Americans. Arizona at Work talks about the issues that impact all of us who work for a living. Be a part of Arizona at Work every Thursday at noon. Get informed about the latest news and legislation that affects your workplace. Join us for a discussion of the economy and the politics of working in Arizona and across the USA. Arizona at Work, Thursday at noon.
And their families at the East Valley Veterans Parade, Wednesday, November 11th at 11 a.m. The parade takes off with flyovers by many vintage military planes, followed by over 100 patriotic entries marching in the East Valley Veterans Parade. Please visit the East Valley Veterans Parade website at evvp.org for more information and to support the sponsors who support our troops. See you on Veterans Day at the East Valley Veterans Parade.
Are you ready to build your business? Then join us November 18th at the Scottsdale Plaza Resort for the annual Guest Editor Economic Symposium and the Be In Business Expo, brought to you by In Business Magazine. First, attend the Be In Business Expo, featuring a buffet of business services and hundreds of networking opportunities. Then enjoy the luncheon hosted by an extraordinary panel of top Valley business executives. To register, visit inbusinessmag.com. That's inbusinessmag.com.
Have you looked in your jewelry box lately? If you're like most people, chances are you'll have all kinds of jewelry, gems, and diamonds that you no longer wear, or watches that no longer work. If these items would be more valuable to you as cash, come to London Gold, the jewelry store that smart shoppers have trusted for over 30 years. With today's high prices for gold, now is the time to let London Gold buy from you. Stop by one of our 3 Valley-wide locations, where our precious metal specialists are always on hand to evaluate your items. We will carefully test and examine each piece to determine its weight and current market value. Then we will make you an offer. If you accept, we'll pay you on the spot, and there's never any pressure to sell. Walk away anytime. No charge, no hassle. And if by chance something catches your eye in our showroom, take advantage of our 20% bonus offer towards a new purchase. Imagine, in one visit you can trade in old style for new ones and take home cash to boot.
London Gold. It's the best.
How would you like to stop spending money unnecessarily? Stop worrying about how to fill your downtime. Stop wondering how you're going to move that excess product. Stop worrying about how you're going to pay for the family's getaway. There's a one-word answer that can solve all of these problems and a lot more. BarterWorks. That's right, BarterWorks, a concierge-type company. Not the biggest in the industry, but their members say they're the best. BarterWorks, owned and operated by a certified trade broker since 1992, exceeding the industry's code of ethics. BarterWorks, an accredited member of the Better Business Bureau with an A+ rating. BarterWorks, a proud member of Local First Arizona. Wouldn't you like to find out more about BarterWorks? Sure you would. So call this number, 602-703-3773. Stop spending money unnecessarily. Stop worrying about how to fill your downtime. Stop wondering how you're going to move that excess product. 602-703-3773. It's BarterWorks.
And welcome back to Two Small Biz Guys. We're here with Gelie Akhenblit with networkingphoenix.com. That's really a huge website. If you haven't been there and you're a business professional in the Valley, you really need to check it out. Now, we were talking about profiles right before the break, needing to have one. Gelie, do you find that, the digital world is really transparent and people look for things and they're going to find them about you somewhere. So wouldn't it be best to have your best image put forward in as many different places as possible, especially with social media? I know you get into that somewhat. What's your feelings on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm very aware of my digital footprint. That's what I call it, and so I've got a profile on all the popular, digital social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. There are many others out there that I don't play with, don't touch, but I've got a Periscope, I've got a YouTube, just those basic ones.
Right.
And I think it is important to have a good digital footprint. Whenever somebody comes into my life or is trying to come into my life, I research them with a little simple Google search and just see what I come up with. And I don't actually even have to do that because when people email me, I've got an extension on my Gmail, I think through Chrome, that it shows me directly their LinkedIn and Twitter information. So
Outlook used to have that too.
Yeah, so I can see who this person is before I don't even have to Google them. I can just see who they are, what they're about, or not. If they don't have anything about them online, then the question is why? Are they hiding something? Are they not savvy? I think
the latter is probably more the case than not, from what I'm finding. I'm getting a lot of people approaching me that, especially in my social media workshops, that they only have one profile, if that, and it's partially filled out because they just don't know how, and they don't have the time to address that within their companies because they're too busy.
Well,
so they hire me to do it.
Well,
Good.
Zen, your comment is very valid because when working with business owners in these peer groups, I would find that most of them, unless they're into technology areas, really don't know anything about the digital world at all or don't think about it.
And it changes so rapidly.
Well, forget the changing. They're back in the prehistoric stage. So,
right.
So when you talk to them about...
So it's like the hand-holding through the networking meetings.
Oh, we get to hold hands? That's
sure.
I'm going to have to go now.
Kumbaya.
I know. Now I know what I missed.
Right.
So you're talking about a hands-on aspect. So going back to the digital footprint, and you're saying that you access information when somebody first emails to you, so you can see very quickly who they are and what they are.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have the people who register on your website? Do you have like 90% of them have a good profile or a reasonable profile, or is there any type of? Do you give them clues to filling out the profile?
Yeah, we do. We absolutely do. We try to prompt them, but I don't know that they do. So I can't give you a percentage.
You have a slew of video training videos.
There are, but people don't like to do that. People don't like to take the time. If everyone took the time to be efficient, the world would be a different place. People just don't take the time, and they hinder themselves, and all that good stuff. The easiest thing I'll tell you is that when you go to the website, if you don't have a profile, and even if you do, you can just sync it with your LinkedIn. And if you have a LinkedIn profile, it'll
populate.
It'll populate the information. So it's super simple. So
silly.
It's so silly, and I want to use the word lazy. It's just completely lazy.
You just click.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm like, look, I already have your email address. That means you're going to get emails from me. The rest is up to you. If you don't want to do it, then you're hindering yourself.
Right. So what do you find are, speaking of hindering, what do you feel, what is your best advice to someone who's just starting out in the digital world? What's most important to address first as far as creating their image?
Make sure to have a good profile picture, because your profile picture speaks volumes. And especially if you're trying to brand yourself and you're just starting out, that picture is going to be key. So when I first started on Facebook and everything else, I had one image of me. I went and got a professional headshot done, and I used that one across all mediums. LinkedIn. It was the same picture everywhere.
That's standard branding, right? You've got the same thing presented across multiple platforms.
And it was a professional picture. Right. It wasn't, my face cut out with somebody's hand on my shoulder, or, me, like, just my head, so you shouldn't see anything else I'm wearing, right? I mean, which we see a lot of what people do. They're like, oh, this picture looks good if I just crop the crap out of it, But,
right.
So, and that's something you can play with later on once your brand is established. But when you're just building and you're just starting out, I think it's so crucial to err on the side of caution, err on the side of be more conservative. I mean, these are tips I would personally give people. Somebody else might actually give completely different tips. I don't know. I'm telling you what I did and how I built it.
I think that's general wisdom.
Yeah, common sense, which many people don't have.
Well, maybe we can make sense common here instead.
Maybe.
So regarding the picture, you mentioned be more on the conservative side.
Mm-hmm.
So you think those pictures should be more formalized rather than very playful?
Like my caricature?
It depends on your brand. It honestly depends on your brand. So if your brand is that of, let's say you're somebody that sets up girls' night out type of parties, well, that your brand is fun and girls want to see fun. Most people are, if they're hiring you for that, they want to go have fun. So you probably shouldn't be sitting there in a business jacket, in a suit, in an office, right? So you want to cater to your brand. But, once again, you also don't want a picture that's just too much, because then people are saying, wait, who am I hiring? I still want to know that I'm working with a professional individual. So whatever your brand is.
Unless you're using it as a filter. Because some people don't want everybody. They just want a specific niche, and what they use their branding for is to filter out those people that they really wouldn't want to work with anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. The picture should speak to your brand, but it's even more so crucial when you're building when you're first starting out.
So you would also suggest that the copy be also follow the type of brand that you want to create. So if you want to be whimsical, your copy should be whimsical, and if you want to be serious, your copy should be serious.
Consistency.
Yeah. I would say speak in your voice. I mean, I always speak in my voice, and that gets me in trouble all the time. But, I've learned to censor my own voice.
Well, you're the only one in your body.
Yeah, but what happens is especially on social media, people misconstrued a lot of the things that you say, or they really just misunderstand.
So easily.
Yeah.
It's the communication across the board is horrific at times, where people will read stuff into things that really, they're listening with a different ear from where you're speaking.
Yeah, and many people are bored sitting at home doing nothing, and so if they will feel the need to pick a fight with you online, something they would never say to you face to face, of course.
Right.
But they're happy to post some kind of a negative, mean, ill intent comment on something.
That's what the unfriend and block is for.
Oh, no. I respond politely always with a smile on my face, which I do.
Right.
I mean, truly, kill them with kindness. I mean, my personal philosophy is don't give anybody any ammunition.
Right.
And when I do, that means you caught me on a very, very bad day, which are very, very rare.
I call it a cosmic aikido, where you take that energy.
You have a name for everything.
Yes, I do. And you take that energy. It's like the thoughtmosphere.
Yeah.
You take that energy that's coming at you, you deflect it, and then you respond to it from a completely different place.
Yes.
That they're expecting you to come from, and it just, like you were saying, you kill them with kindness.
Absolutely.
You really care about who they are and what they're saying, and you want to go deeper.
Yeah, you said that very, very well. You throw them off. Well, you said that more kinder. I throw them off their game. I'm like, let me just come back with this, and you won't know what just hit you. I mean, it was a very kind of a hit, but nonetheless a hit.
Right. It's warm fuzzy instead of cold prickly.
It's a warm fuzzy. Exactly. So my point being is just be careful with what you say in social media. It's great for branding, but it could also be really, really bad and could really hurt you.
Words and pictures, once they're out there,
they're out there forever.
Yeah.
Even if you delete the comment, people will remember. Absolutely. Like for years, especially if you offend somebody personally, they will remember it forever.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You haven't had anything like that happen, have you, Ray?
Not that I'm aware of, but...
Well, you're not online all that much.
No, I'm not online that much, and also I have a tendency to get sarcastic at times. But you wouldn't believe that because I'm so sweet.
Oh, yeah. Gave me this Milky Way.
That's right. Because after all, you're into the cosmos.
Yes. So even with that sarcasm, the face-to-face, you can get the sarcasm. Online, you make a sarcastic remark, it's going to be taken any which way but how you meant it.
Most likely.
And also, it's very hard to understand how a listener or reader may interpret.
Speaking of interpreting, you're going to get a chance to interpret these messages that are coming up, and we'll be right back with Gelie, Ray, and Zen with Two Small Biz Guys. What is your dream? Do you want to achieve it? Do you know how? What if you did? Zen Benefiel is the Chief Possibilities Coagulator with Be the Dream, Transformational Life Coaching and Professional Services. He'll help you put your dream to paper and process, removing the liabilities, limitations, and excuses in your challenge to change. Changing your outlook and perspectives opens your experience to opportunity and success. Visit BeTheDream.com and make an appointment with Zen. You'll be amazed with the results.
As a business owner, do you ever feel alone? Hi, I'm Ray Silverstein, founder of Pro Presidents Organization. I know business owners want to call their own shots, make appropriate income, and control their destiny. At Pro, our passion is to help you achieve your goals. A Pro peer advisory board meeting is just the thing. It takes away that feeling of being alone by giving you support, insight, and experience. It's a confidential monthly meeting of non-competitive business owners facilitated by me. I have walked in your shoes. I've owned and sold several businesses. I will be your mentor and tormentor to move you forward. When you have issues or opportunities that keep you awake at night, where do you get your help? Pro boards give support and non-biased feedback from your peers. To sample a free Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting, email ray@propres.com. That's ray@propres.com. ray@propres.com. There's no charge and no commitment to attend.
Offering insight, practical advice, and opportunity for coaching and consulting from their years of real-world experience and understanding. Two small biz guys hit the airwaves with wit and wisdom, exploring small business with a couple of characters in the community, or caricatures as the case may be. Ray and Zen, that is, Mondays at 8 p.m. These guys are passionate about helping entrepreneurs and small business owners explore opportunities, meet challenges, and transform concepts to reality. Two small biz guys, Mondays at 8 p.m. Are you a small business owner looking for education and information and don't have time for school? Is there an area of your business you'd like to know more about but aren't sure where to go or who to ask? Practical Biz U is an online repository of small business courses now available to you on the web. There are single class options, bundles for specific areas, and monthly memberships for ongoing learning opportunities. Go to practicalbizu.com and sign up today. The digital world is vast. Is it working for you? Would you like some qualified help? Zen Benefiel is a wonder with social media who leads focused and organized workshops on multiple platforms like Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. He leads by example, not theory, and teaches you how to live large and lively on the web. From blogs to SEO, his web presence speaks for itself. Take advantage of his expertise. Visit BeTheDream.com and click on Web Wizardry. Hire him while you can. As a real estate agent, you work hard. Wouldn't you like to keep more of your commissions? Call Client Advocate Realty at 602-403-7717 and let's talk about how you can keep your commissions. That's 602-403-7717 to keep your commissions. And talk to Ron Chambers at 602-403-7717.
Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
And welcome back. So we're talking about Networking Phoenix and the Phoenix phenom known as Gelie Akhenblit. Gelie, so with Networking Phoenix, your website is really huge. It's really well done. You've also got some expansion happening here over the last couple of years. You're in Chicago too now, right?
Correct. We are, yes.
So how did that happen? And what if someone else were to want to engage you for such a sweet deal, how might they do that?
Well, I tell you, I actually very often get requests of people wanting this type of platform in their town, but most of the time they're looking for maybe a job or just to kind of do this on the side. And let me tell you,
this is a full-time gig.
Yeah, this is not a side thing. Oh, my favorite questions. People are like, you do this? Well, what else do you do? Like, really?
You don't get it.
I'm like, oh man, like that's the wrong question to ask me.
Do you have this activity up on your site about people who want to get into networking events, not events, but a networking business in other communities?
What do you mean?
Well, if when people, when they want to create and sell or help others do this type of thing, they would put it up on their site saying that this is an opportunity for you, and these are the criteria that we're looking for, and this is what you might expect from this type of activity. I'm not going to call it a franchise, but it might be like a business opportunity for others. But you have to promote it. Just like you promote your events here, you have to promote that activity.
Right.
So others will come to you and have some kind of idea, so that they pre-sort their interests. So when they talk to you, they have some information, or if they contact you, you can then refer them to the website.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. No, I don't have that on the website because I'm not actively looking for people like that to come my way.
You've got a lot going on with just what you have.
Right. Yeah. And they come my way anyways.
Sure.
But anyway, so I get contacted often, and then I got contacted by a guy out of Chicago, a guy named his name is Dave Ritter. And, Dave and I had a few conversations like I do with most of these people, and to shorten the story, Dave was very serious. Dave wasn't looking for a job, and Dave was on the same page as me. So
yeah, these guys from Chicago, they can be a little serious.
Oh, very serious. But we had Al Capone, don't forget, so we have to be serious.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I ended up, one thing just led to another. It worked out, and Dave now has a platform in Chicago that he runs. So
how many members does he have now? Do you know?
I'm gonna guess and say maybe around 4,000. Maybe a little higher.
That's a good start.
Yeah, it's a good start. It's been about a year.
Years or?
Just about a year, actually. Okay. Yeah. It's the landscape there is a little bit different. The economic time is a little bit different. The culture is different. I mean, there's a lot of differences between Phoenix and Chicago, just the cities in general, and then with the whole networking landscape. But their networking scene out there is about 6 times bigger than ours. So the opportunity is great, so he's working on building the momentum, and it's all grassroots, we're self-funded. We don't have huge funding behind us, so we can't go out there and, blast marketing at it. I mean, I shouldn't say can't, but
that even adds to the flavor. I mean, this is really, it's an organic business, and that is really what networking, relationship building, all of those kinds of things. As far as, we were talking about branding earlier, this is part of that whole branding process that you've been able to do a really great job with.
Thank you. But yeah, and I'd have to agree with you. I'm just full of compliments. Yeah, no, I love it. Compliment Monday. I'll take it. No, but it's
better know some.
It's been, with. I totally lost my train of thought with all your compliments. Well, I don't know I remember what I was saying now.
We were talking about the branding and the organic growth of the business. Yes, the
organic growth. Yeah, and that is something I do pride ourselves on, is that it is extremely organic, and it just, people use it because it's a good resource and it works. And that's all it comes down to. So, Ray, you were asking me earlier, what's the value? Well, if people didn't see value in it, they wouldn't keep coming back. They wouldn't keep referring it out. And really what it does is it brings people together. It puts food on people's tables because people are able to make deals because of it. We've got a lot of small business owners, entrepreneurs. I've got sales professionals. I've got people that have day jobs that are trying to get out of their day jobs because they've got side ventures going on. And the calendar tells them exactly where to go and who to meet. So it helps boost the economy from such a grassroots, just individual level, but makes a huge impact.
Now, if we could only have that kind of example strewn across the United States, it would really help bring our economy, our state of being in the country to a whole new level on a playing field that would be much more collaborative, cooperative, and community-driven.
Maybe.
I'm
the optimist.
So really, basically, you just don't provide networking. You provide the opportunity for people to expose, to get ideas, for introductions. So it really, and what you're talking about, it puts food on the table. So you're really providing a great value to the community, and also to businesses themselves that really don't have the budget to advertise on large scale.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of the large scale, I was just looking at I've got your website pulled up on my smartphone, and it's really convenient. You've got a nice integration here. There's 375 networking events this month.
In the 4 weeks, you're probably looking at the 4 weeks, or is it this month?
It says this month. This is the first thing that comes up. You got 375 networking events this month.
So where should I go first?
Well, that depends on, I suppose, where you live. Now, how do you list the events? Do you list them by zip code, by organization, by just date?
Well, by date. It's a calendar, so yes, by date. By date. And then by time. So if it happens at 7 in the morning, it's on top. If it's at 4:30 in the evening, and it's all color-coded for people. And then there's different industries, different organizations. There's a few different ways we categorize them to answer your question. The main thing that people need to know is that they can filter it. So if you go to the calendar right above there, there's like a little search bar. which I don't know if you can see on the smartphone version or not.
I think I have to log in to do that.
Yeah, you may have. You may. I don't remember. But on the desktop version, there's a filter option, so you can put in your zip code, you can put in your city, and then there's actually a few different filters that are pre-filtered at the top. So we've got Prime events, Passport events, educational events, mixers, and referral groups.
So it really is a powerful resource if you're just wanting to get out and connect, and not only to grow your business, to really find out what else is out there. Because part of building your business is knowing what your competition is.
Yeah, and it's not just that. We're focusing a lot on business because when you think of networking, that's people network to get more clients.
So you're saying relationships develop through this too?
Well, yeah.
Do I feel a Networking Phoenix dating site coming up in the future?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Not my thing. Maybe somebody else's, but not my thing. Although I met my current boyfriend at my networking event, so it could happen.
Business and pleasure.
Yeah. But it's... I tell people, look, if you've got something, like if there's some kind of a transition in your life that's happening, or you have an idea about something, your friends and family are great, but two things. One,
they're often dream stealers.
And they're probably sick of hearing about it. And some may be dream stealers and some may be cheerleaders for anything you do. You may have the dumbest idea in the world and I love you, great idea. So I'm just saying, whatever is happening in your life, you can go to any networking event and just start having conversations with people about where you are in life, and people are going to give you feedback. Just legit feedback from legit strangers who don't necessarily care to support you, in a I love you kind of way, and it's great research.
All right. Well, speaking I love you, this is kind of way. It's been wonderful having you here. I'm sure our listeners have gotten a great deal of information. We've really shared a lot. You have shared a lot today, Gelie, and we really thank you. I thank you, Ray.
And I thank you also.
Thank you both.
All right. It's just been wonderful. We've got the events coming up in our site on twosmallbizguys.com. You can go there, click on blogs for past shows. You can also download a free worksheet on organizational development. We've got that available on the website. And reach out to us if you'd like to figure out how to be a guest on the show, just like Gelie. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
You're listening to Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX, Cave Creek, Phoenix. A division of Premier Radio Stations. It's 9 o'clock.